Hi, this is Lady Shell. I'm back again to do another tutorial on how to make a character using Fantasy Grounds. Now, this episode will feature the wizard. So let's add an item and close our character sheet. And here's our blank sheet. Now, the first thing that you want to do is add your abilities. I'm using the standard array method, and that is to include these 6 numbers in your abilities. You can put them in any order that you want, but because I'm making a wizard, I'm going to want the intelligence to be 15. I want the con to be 14, the dex to be 13, the strength to be 12. You know what? No, I'm going to put strength at 10. I'm going to put the wisdom at 12. And then I'm going to put the charisma at 8. Okay, so I have my 6 skills. The next thing that I want to add is my background. So I'm going to open up the background tab. I'm going to choose the sage background, drag it over, and close. Next will be the race. So I open my race, and I want to make a rock gnome. A rock gnome comes from the player's handbook, so I will take gnome, which is the main race, and I will click, close that, and it's asking me what's my sub race, which I've already said. I'm going to use rock gnome. Click, and I will check the checkbox. Now the last thing to add would be the class. I already said I'm making a wizard. I'm making it from the player's handbook. I'll drag that up, close the class. It's asking me to add 2 skills. Now it's important always to check the skills that you are proficient in, because you may have been proficient in some skills from picking your background or your race, which I have been. I've got Arcana and History, so I don't want to choose them again. I'm going to choose Insight, and I'm going to choose Investigation. Click the checkbox, and I'm done. Now the gold stars mean that I'm proficient in these particular skills. Going back to the main tab, I would like to name my character Lydia. She is a first level wizard. She is a rock gnome, so let's go find her picture. And we need a female picture. Well, it's a ranger, but that's okay. Yeah, because the other ones are males, so I'm going to pick this Lydia. There you are. And I want to level her up to level 3. So I will click on the hourglass, drag this over here, and you would think that to level someone up, you would just type 3 in this box, but that would be wrong. You need to drag the shield off and on, and that leveled me to level 2, and it's going to ask me what my specialization is. So I have to pick a school, and I want to pick evocation. So I'm going to click, and I'm going to check, and I will then grab the shield again, drag off and on, and now I'm a level 3 rock gnome sage wizard. Have my different abilities here, and I can move on to skills. These are the skills that I'm proficient in, and then abilities. Now I'm going to be opening these to see if any of these might be ones that need coding for when I get to the Actions tab. Arcane Recovery means that I can regain some spell slots on a short rest. I'm going to that would be coded. Evocation Savant just says that when I picked the evocation not college, evocation school, not college school. Okay. Researcher, that has to do with my sage background. That's a role-playing thing. School of Evocation, again, is talking about the things that, what is an evocation uh, wizard. Sculpt Spells talks about making pockets of safety so that if you had party members in the range of a spell that you were casting area of effect, they would be protected, but you would have to use this scope spells feature in order to do it. You can choose a number of them equal to +1 plus the spell's level, and the chosen creatures automatically succeed their saving throws. Okay. It's similar to the careful feature in a sorcerer's repertoire. Spellcasting, I will just be using the spells list, so I don't need to open that. Artificer's lore, I can't say this word, but yeah, that's part of my trait for being, I believe it's from being a rock gnome. The gnome cunning is a trait for being a gnome, getting advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. And then tinker tells me that I am proficient in tinker's tools. And I can make certain things, and this is not a coded thing, but it is something that I'm going to want to do something with. I'm going to want to go to the skills tab, and I'm going to want to tell Fantasy Grounds that I am proficient in the artisan tools known as tinker tools. To do that, I will have to click on the edit button, click on the plus button, which gives me a blank line. On this line, I will type tinker's tools. I will click the star, and then I have to associate it with an ability. I'm going to associate it with Dex, because when you're working with tools, it seems like Dex would be a good fit. I'm going to stop editing. Now we are proficient, and our trait is listed there. Oh, but I do want to also make sure that was there. Tinker's Tools. What did I want to do with this? I guess that's it, because there was no code for it. Okay, now what I do need to do on this sheet is to add 2 more languages, because I can speak Common, Gnomish, and 2 more languages. I'm going to choose to speak Dwarvish and Elvish. And it is important that however you write this has to be written the same exact way as Fantasy Grounds has it coded. To find that, I clicked on the options, I click on the languages, and it tells you the list of, these are the lists of languages that are coded in Fantasy Grounds. And you can see Dwarvish and Elvish are both listed here. So this will work just fine. So I'll close that down, close this down, and we are ready to move on to our inventory. Now I know that my background and class give me certain things as inventory, but one of those things is not the tinker tools, because of the fact that that's related to my race, not my class. Also, I know that I did this episode earlier and I wasn't happy with the recording, so I know that I did not receive a water skin. I did not receive rations. I did not receive torches. It's because of the pack that was chosen. I'm going to put 10 for rations. I'm going to put 10 for torches. Plus, I would like to do healing potions. And the reason that I'm adding these is so I can show you how to add functionality to your healing potions, so that when you use them in the game, they actually do something. They do heal at a certain rate. Okay, so that is done. And before I forget, I came here to add the Tinker's tools. So let's add those. Okay, those are the last ones that I want to add. These are all manual adds. And I am going to now open the parcels because I'm using Rob Tui's background and class equipment bundles in order to add my inventory in a minimum number of clicks. So if you start in the background equipment at the top, you remember that I took Sage as my background. So I'm going to scroll down to Sage. I'm going to grab the shield and drag it. Then I'm going to scroll down to Wizard and I'm going to grab the shield and drag it. Okay, we have all our inventory. Now I'm going to go to backpack because I want to put items in the backpack. You can see it's now listed as empty, but if you delete the word empty and the space in front of it so that you're right against the K, everything that you want in the backpack, you can type in location, B for backpack, and it will autofill to the backpack. Now I'm going to go down the list and I'm going to type backpack and set all the things that I want in the backpack. Now you notice that these items here have a little icon that has a little bag. That means they're held, they're carried. But the quarterstaff is equipped because this is your weapon. So you never want to have your weapon or your armor equipped. I mean, not equipped. You want it always to have the shirt. Let me continue. I also noticed when I made this before that the only weapon it gives you is the quarterstaff. It doesn't give you anything as a ranged weapon, and I would like my character to have a ranged weapon option. And because she is proficient in daggers or darts or slings, I'm going to add a ranged weapon to her inventory. I could even add crossbows. But I'm going to add the darts. I'm going to give her 10 darts. So I will open the items. I will type the word dart down here in the first line. And I'm going to drag dart over to the inventory. And I'm going to delete or close the items. And I want to change darts to 10. And you can see it's equipped. So now she has a quarterstaff for melee. And she has a darts, 10 darts to throw for ranged weapons if she doesn't want to do a spell. Okay, so our inventory is all set up. You can see that everything that's in the backpack is indented and the other things are not. The next tab that we have is our notes tab. I call this the role-playing tab because everything that you have on this particular tab are things that you will use to role play your character. I'm going to erase this because I'm going to be using some tables to roll our personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. And I find them in my Sage background, which is why I kept the Sage background down here so that I could find it easy. So there are 3 ways that you could add your traits, bonds, flaws, and ideals. One would be to do as I'm doing and to just roll for them. And you will take and left click it and drag it into the correct area and drop it. The second way that you could do it is to just go down the list If you see something that you like, you could take it, and that would be your second method of adding information to your sheet. And the third method would be to write what you want. You could put whatever you want in these 4 slots, and it's your character. It should be the character that you want to play. So we are going to put bonds and then finally floss. Drag, and we're done with our characteristics. Another thing that you can put in here is your appearance. You could describe yourself, and then under notes you would put your backstory, where you came from, how did you become a wizard, that kind of thing. The log tab is for playing it in Adventures League. You would put your DCI number, your faction, and then down here would be where you would type your adventures that you play each week or however many times you play. Okay, so on this tab, I'm going to be adding my class features, racial features, standard actions, and my consumables. So I need 4 header sections so that I can separate out the information. Now I clicked on edit. I'm going to click on the star. Click on edit. Click on the star. Oh, well, that added 2 things. Okay, let's try and show you correctly. I'm going to add class features. I'm going to add racial features. I'm going to add standard actions, and then I'm going to add consumables. Now consumables needs 4 lines. Okay, so I'm going to be tracking my torches. I'm going to be tracking my water skin. I'm going to be tracking my rations. And finally, I'm going to be tracking my healing potions. Okay, now I told you I wanted to show you how to put functionality to your healing potions. So here's how you do that. You will right click on healing potions. You get the radial menu here, and you're going to click on this add action. Then you're going to click on this plus sign for add heal. And you'll see this empty line for you to add the amount of healing that a healing potion would do. I'm going to click on the hourglass that is equal to this line. And now I have a new tab. I am going to try and erase this. There. Okay. Now I want to take my 4-sided dice and drag it into the chat window. I'm holding it with the left mouse button. Now I'm going to click once with the right mouse button and it gives me 2 dice. Drop my 2 dice onto the tab and it gives me 2d4. But I want it to be 2d4 plus 2, so I'm going to type a 2 in the bonus section. And then I can shut that down, and you can see now that it's showing my healing potions are worth 2d4 plus 2. Now when you use them up, they are not going to be deducted from your inventory. Wait, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to, just click once where it says standard, click once, it says prepare now. Now I'm going to go down here where I have these healing potions, rations, torches, and water skin. I'm going to change these little tabs from daily to once. I'm going to tell it how many healing potions I have, which are 2, rations, which are 10, torches, which are 10, and water skin, which is 1. And then when you click back to combat, you will see it has little bubbles for the amount of items that you have in each one. Okay, now racial features are my artificer's lore and my gnome. I almost called it a gnome cunning. And I'm going to be using Rob Tui's race traits. So what I want to do is take that out. This is left over from before. I want to be showing nothing. So there's nothing picked down here. We're not doing codings for spells at this time. We are doing race traits. So I'm going to choose race traits group. This is the module that I have that's loaded. And I will now pick gnome because gnome is my race. Scroll down to gnome. And you'll see I have my gnome cunning. You can drag and drop gnome cunning into my racial trait. And then I have the subclass of rock gnome, which I know that there is a rock gnome listing here. Here it is. And there's the artificer's lore. Okay, that's done. Now, I have this empty space here. I'm going to get rid of it because it leaves you this empty, like kind of like a header or a spacer placeholder. That's what it is. Okay, so there's my race traits. Now my class features are going to be, we have to pick our class. And we have to go to 5E effects coding class features. And we are in wizard. And we want to have our arcane recovery, which is this one. And we want the arcane, wait, was arcane ward here too? Yes, arcane ward was here. So I'm going to drag that over. And I believe the rest of these are from higher levels. Yeah, I don't see anything there. I could get rid of arcane recovery. Sculpt spells I don't believe is on here, so I'm going to cover this. Close it. Now, artificer's lore. Where did I find that? That was in. Was that part? You know what? That was part of gnome, wasn't it? Let me go back to gnome. Or was that under rock gnome? Let me try. I know I seen it. There it is. That is a racial feature. Oh, I did use it. There it is. Okay. So I can close this. But we have gnome cunning, yes. So I've added all of these. So we're set there. Now let's go to our class features. Go back to our sorceress. Not sorceress. We are wizard. Go back to wizard. And I want to start with my standard actions. Oh wait, I don't need to be wizard for this. I need to be nothing for this. and I want to drag over action dodge, action help, action hide, and action ready. Next, I want to go back to wizard. And let's fix the standard actions so that everything is on a single line. I'll delete the spacer. I've got my dodge, my help, my hide, and my ready. Okay. Now let's go to we're going to do our spells next. Oh yeah, I forgot to say we had 10 darts. Let's put 10 darts. So it shows us the amount of darts, and this little symbol means this is a thrown weapon. Okay, we have 3 cantrips. Wizard cantrips are 0. Well, all classes are 0 for cantrips. So I will go into, now I need to change it to spells, and now it's going to show everything that's a cantrip for a wizard. I'm going to use Firebolt, Mage Hand, and Ray of Frost. And I forgot to delete this one. Go down here, you'll see it's listed my cantrips. Let's click on the hourglass so everything's only on one single line. Go back to the top. I want to change this to 1, and I can pick 4 spells. I want to pick the Mage Armor, and if you recall in my Sorcerer, I told you that Mage Armor was not beneficial to the Sorcerer, and that's because the Sorcerer was Dragonborn and it got a 14 AC. But you can see my wizard does not have armor, does not wear armor, so she only has an 11 AC. So the Mage Armor spell would make it 14. So she would have to use a spell to protect herself. She's going to use Magic Missile, and then for a 3rd spell, I'm going to pick Sleep. So let's go scroll down and look for our level 1 spells, which here they are. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I get 4. Wait, one more. I'm going to pick Burning Hands. Okay, so I have my 4 spells for 1st level, and I get 2 spells for 2nd level. So let's change this 1 to a 2. And let's find 2 spells to use. I'm going to want to take Invisibility and Misty Step. Okay, go down here. Here's my 2nd level spells. And we're all set. Now, if you're wondering what the T and the S and the C and the B mean, T means touch, so that means you have to touch either yourself or whoever you're casting it on. The numbers mean the range of the spell. This magic missile is good up to 120 feet. Sleep is good up to 90 feet. Burning Hands is self and 15. And it does 3 to 6 fire damage. And you have to be within 15 feet, right? Self. It's a cone. Yeah, it does a cone, and it's 15 feet cone. That's what the S15 meant. The C stands for concentration. This is a concentration spell. If you stop concentrating on it, the spell will break. If you pick another concentration spell, the first concentration spell is then null and void. And the B is for bonus action. It's always good to have a bonus action in your inventory. Well, your spell list, um, so that you have, you know, something to do for your bonus. The other letter that you might see in these codes is an R, and R would be for reaction. So we have our spells and our skills. We have our numbers all added up. We have standard actions added. So I believe we are done. First, let me add Lydia to the combat tracker, and I want to show you how you would add your racial feature, as she has gnome cunning. So to do this, you would take the little man here where it says effect and drag it onto your character in the combat tracker, and it adds the information so that everybody can see it. So we are finished with Lydia, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I appreciate your viewership, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.